Hello, Algebra 2, and welcome to day 1 of absolute value graphs. You may have done work with absolute value in a previous class. It was probably just more algebraic work. Okay, we're going to look at it graphically today. What you might remember from your previous work is that absolute value is sometimes considered like the positive function. Whatever goes into it comes out positive, because absolute value is thinking about how far away something is from 0 on the number line. So negative 3 goes in and comes out as positive 3, because negative 3 is 3 units away from 0 on the number line. Positive 2 would go in and still come out positive 2, because 2 is 2 units away from 0 on a number line. So it's like that you're talking about distance, and we usually don't refer to distances as being negative. You don't say that Springville is negative 10 miles away. Okay? So, because everything comes out positive, 1 comes out positive 1, 2 comes out positive 2, negative 1 comes out positive 1, negative 2 comes out as positive 2, we get this V graph. Okay, and you can remember that it's a V graph because it's absolute value. Value with a V. It's going to make a V graph. Okay? The sides go out forever, left and right. So our domain is going to be all real numbers. And our range is y's are greater than or equal to 0. Because we only get down to 0, and then we turn right back around and go up. So we never use any of the y numbers down here. Okay, some other things. Alright. Translation is a rigid transformation that moves the graph left, right, up, and down. We're not going to let it sit there all day today. We're moving it around. Reflection is going to flip it upside down. Dilation, think about going to the eye doctor. It's going to shrink or enlarge the figure proportionally. And this is the big money one, because we use this same format for nearly every function we use the rest of the year. Okay, we got plus minus a times, okay, in other functions it would be parentheses. The absolute value function kind of comes with its own parentheses, the absolute value bars. Okay, x minus h on the inside there, and then plus k. Whether this is absolute value like today, x parentheses x squared like next week, or sine and cosine at the end of the year, this is going to be the same basic setup. Okay? This a multiplier in the front is going to be your stretch or shrink. If it was times 3, it's going to stretch it out. If it was times by a half or 1/3, a fraction in the front, it's going to shrink it down. If your multiplier is negative, it's going to flip it over. This is probably the toughest part, the horizontal shift. Okay? If it's inside the grouping with x, that's going to be your hint that it's left and right, but it's going to be opposite because it has a minus sign built in to the equation or function. That minus sign is already there. So that kind of makes everything go backwards. So if you saw a minus 5, you're like, oh, minus, that's negative. That's going to go to the negative side of x's, which is to the left. But if you see a minus 5, it's really a minus 5, h being the 5. It's actually going to be positive 5 to the right. So that's tough to think about with all the negatives. The easiest way for you to remember it is inside is opposite. If you see a minus, it actually goes to the right. If you see a plus, it's going to go to the left. Inside is opposite. Outside then is going to be your up and down, your vertical shift, and that's normal of what your brain wants to think. Plus goes up and a minus goes down. Let's put that to use here. Flip it over. All right, our first one, we got absolute value of x plus 2, with the plus 2 being inside. So that is going to control side to side. Okay, just for the first one, I'm going to put the original in. You do not have to do this. But just for the first one, I'm going to put the original absolute value graph in. Okay, we're starting here at 0, 0, going up 1 over 1 both ways. Okay, today's day 1, so we're not going to get too crazy. We're just going left, right, up, down. We're not going to have any multipliers. So for today, it's basically up 1 over 1 the whole time. Okay, up 1 over 1 to the right, and up 1 over 1 to the left when we make our V's. Alright, so plus 2 on the inside is going to be left and right. And it's a plus 2, so it's going to be opposite. We're actually going to go left 2 for this one. So 1, 2. So my vertex or corner is at negative 2, 0. Okay. And now I already know how to make my graph. It's up 1 over 1, both directions. And away we go. Okay, and hopefully we should be able to see that all the purple dots are made by taking one of the black dots and moving it 2 to the left, 2 to the left, 2 to the left. You can see how it was just slid over 2 to the left. Okay, we're not going to do that every time. What we found out there is getting the corner is the most important one, and everything after that is just up 1 over 1. Let's talk about some domain and range. Domain is super easy because it's always all real numbers with this. Range, what y's are we using? This goes up forever. How far does it come down? 0. So all my y's are greater than or equal to 0. All right. Next, x plus 2, with the plus 2 being on the outside. Okay, outside controls up and down. So this is actually going to be up 2. So we're going to start here at 0, 2. Okay, and now we're going to go up 1 over 1, both directions. Alright, and there it is. Domain is all real numbers. And our range this time moved. Again, we're going up forever, but how far down do we come? 0, 2. 2 is as low as we get. So your range is going to be related to this back number. Y's are greater than or equal to 2. Alright, we're going to have you push pause and give the middle row a shot on your own. We got minus 2's. Okay, go ahead and push pause and try these two on your own. Alright, welcome back. Let's see how we did. Minus 2. Inside is opposite, so minus 2, we're actually going to go to the right. 2. So there's your V. Okay. Domain is going to be all reals. And our range is greater than or equal to 0. 0 is as low as we go. Okay, over here, that minus 2 on the outside is going to go down 2. So we're at 0, negative 2. Alright, and domain, again, all real numbers, super easy. In our range, our y's are greater than or equal to negative 2. Negative 2. How did you do? Alright, take a look at those. Do some thinking and evaluating on how you did and what you can change. Last set. X minus 2, minus 3. We're doing two things at once. Remember, inside is left and right, and it's opposite of what your brain wants to do. So minus 2 is going to go to the right 2. And minus 3 on the outside is going to be up and down, and that's normal. We're going down 3. So 1, 2 to the right, 1, 2, 3 down. We're at 2, negative 3. No multiplier in the front today, so we're just going to go up 1 over 1 both ways. Okay, there's our V. Our domain is all real numbers. Our range, our y is greater than or equal to negative 3. I think we're doing good. Let's add just one itty-bitty tiny layer of extra difficulty. Okay, for this one on your own, and we're going to add a negative. Let's put a little negative in the front. Remember what a negative does. Flip back to the front side of note sheet. It's going to flip it upside down. So instead of going up 1 over 1, you're going down 1 over 1. All right, go ahead and push pause and finish that one off. Okay, we're going 2 to the left and 3 up. So 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3 up. And we have a negative in the front, so instead of going up 1 over 1, we're going down 1 over 1. We're going down 1 over 1. And there it is. Okay. Domain, just like always, all real numbers. And our range this time flips. It's still a y. It's still the back number 3, but we're going down. So we are less than or equal to 3. All right, folks, there it is. Just basic stuff today. Good luck on your worksheet, and let me know if you have any questions.